my name is Lisa Holzl. I'm one of the creative team members for Shawn Petite, and I'm going to show you a little mixed media canvas art called Simply Blue. I don't know where you are in your town, state, or country, but I'm in the Midwest, and it is a beautiful sunny snowy day. So I just grabbed a stack of papers that I've had around and kind of just looked at what I might want to use. And I really like this paper. I've had this paper, oh my gosh, years. And we're talking years. And I guess I was leaning towards the more natural colors because of the canvas there. And yes, there's a cutout hand. I thought that was fun to use, and I might use that. In the end, I decided not to. And these two girls, they were wearing denim, and I thought they were really cool. And I was actually initially thinking of just cutting out one of them, but I really liked both of them together. So I'm doing what they call fussy cut. So, you know, cutting as best you can close to the edges to take out the background. So I did that, and I just kind of was just going with whatever appealed to me. That's how I create. And I guess I didn't know I was really going towards the blue. So I really like that denim look, and I like those two girls together, so I kind of just stare at them and go, yeah, I think I'm going to keep them both versus cutting the one girl out. And I'm looking at this piece of paper, and I changed my mind, and then I found this awesome pop of orange paper there, and that is called mulberry paper. So it's kind of like not quite fully transparent, but it's very fibrous. So I will definitely share the link where I got my paper stack from. I had multiple colors, and this orange just really was a nice contrast to the blue. So I kind of tore it in pieces, and I thought I was going to use the purple, and I'm like, no, it's too close to the blue. And then I was looking at the scrap of the girls that I cut out, and on the back was this woman, and I'm like, you know what? I liked her head. So I chose to fussy cut her head out. I don't know how I'm going to use her, but she just seemed big and bold and strong to me. So I thought she would be a good addition to the two girls. So I'm kind of really looking at what I have and laying it out and removing. I chose not to use that one, and just seeing maybe how I want to use all these pieces that I've cut out. And sometimes I'll even change my mind to the very last minute too. It's like, what am I going to do with this? And I just really love the hard contrast with the canvas, the denim blue, and that pop of orange. And then I'm kind of looking at, well, which stencil am I going to use, and how am I going to use it? So I did decide to use the vintage floral stencil to go with that paper in the background there that has flowers on it too. So I kind of wanted to go with that denim floral look. So I got my matte medium, and that's what I used to glue everything down. So I try to remember your layout. Sometimes you have to take pictures, or you know what, when you put it back, you want to rearrange it, and that's fine too. So what I did is put one good layer of matte medium on my canvas, and then I'm going to apply all my sheets, my layering, do it on top to make sure that it's really glued down. And I don't worry about the wrinkles. I actually like the wrinkles. And you'll see why later towards the end, I use those imperfections to collect paint later, and that just adds to the texture. And you can see how you glue down that, or how I glue down the orange, how it picks up the background as well. So this mulberry paper is really, really neat to use. And actually, I haven't used it in a long time. When I do my art and my canvas, I'm usually working in large pieces. So I'm always creating abstract art. I need a hand. I forgot my hand that I picked earlier, so I just had to add that there. I'm like, oh, I forgot my hand. So, and you can peel it right up your image before it totally glues. It gives you time to rearrange, but you know, try not to pull everything up, and then give it a nice good layer on the top, and then let that dry. This should dry very quickly. I'm not much for waiting things to dry, but I think this one I did. I really like the composition of this layout. I hope you do too. So let's see. So I did let it dry, and here it is dried. And do you see those wrinkles? It's going to come back and be very pleasing, at least to me. So this is where I'm going to grab the warm gray and my modeling paste. This one says modeling paste. Some of them will say molding paste. They are two in the same, so don't be too bogged down on if it says molding or modeling. I don't know why. Somebody must have made a spelling error, but they're two in the same. And so I just scoop it out, and I did get a palette paper, so use the shiny side. You can use wax paper, you can use a lid, you can use whatever you have, even a regular piece of paper, to put your molding paste on your paper. And then I'm going to add color to it, and it doesn't really matter how much, but do keep in mind the molding paste is white, so it may lighten your pigment, so you figure out if you need to add more pigment or not. So you want to make sure you mix it really, really well. And I did use a pointy, very small, skinny palette knife because I want to do some small areas on my canvas, and you'll see why that will come in handy. So I decided it matched too much to the canvas, so I wanted to add some dark blue because I actually like the whole denim look. See, you know, during the process, you just go with your intuition, your instincts. You don't have to just do what I'm telling you, pick your colors, but I kind of wanted to add a little more shade to my gray, my warm gray. So that kind of added a little bit of color. And so I'm just mixing it real quick. And I wanted it just a little darker. And then I am super, super happy with it. And it almost matches that flower, which was never my intention, but I was really happy with that. So I grabbed my stencil, and I didn't put a book under my canvas. It's good to put a box or something more solid so your stencil and your paste doesn't sink in. So that is why mine kind of bubbled. I didn't think of that, but I'm letting you know. You want something firm under your canvas. And I wanted just to add a little texture to her denim, just right there. And that's why that pointy palette knife comes in handy. I just wanted to give her a little pattern, like a painted jean with the flower petals. And there it is. Yay! So cool. So then I'm kind of figuring out which flowers I want to add and where. And usually you want to kind of wait when you're overlapping. The modeling paste can be easily smeared. So I'm doing my best to kind of stay away from overlapping anything. As you can see, I'm trying to be very careful. It was hard. And then trying to figure out which flower I wanted to use. And then you just want to take your paste and your palette knife and just kind of just drag it. It doesn't have to be 100% covering everything. I love that imperfection look. And just smear it and then try to lift up. There we go. Yay! I was actually really, really happy with the color. And it's a nice contrast with that tan canvas as well. So I was really glad I added the blue to the warm gray. So now I'm trying to just figure out the different positions, the different flowers, where I want it to overlap, and trying to not smear the previous stencils that I created. So there, and this is where it was bubbling a little because I was pressing too hard, and I'm okay with it, but it's good to put something hard underneath a soft canvas. And then you just want to lift up, and I'm not doing each petal, but just going to go up, and there you go. Yay! And this is how I love to use the stencil, sorry, with my larger pieces, is with molding paste. So here, be careful when you're using your stencils, when you're overlapping. So I'm trying not to touch the other areas. And you can flip the stencils. You don't have to use it on one side. You can flip it to make a mirror image as well. Just make sure you clean the one side you already used and then turn it the other way. There you go. Isn't that cool? I really like it. So I kind of looking at it, composition again. I mean, odd numbers are always best, but I'm thinking to myself, like, what if I should add some more, and just looking at the faces. And I really kind of want to add one between the two girls. So this took a little maneuvering, and I was actually really daring because there's two flowers there that are trying to dry, but I just wanted to do it. Do it. And I didn't want to cover their faces, so that's cool thing too about stencils. And I've also covered stencils with tape in the past. If you just want one area, you can do that as well. So with the modeling paste, or even painting and stamping on your colors, you can choose your areas. You don't always have to use the whole shape. And I like odd numbers, so I'm going to add another big one, I believe, by the hand there, because something was on that paper, that blue, and I needed to cover that. So, and that's what I'm doing now. So I'm really happy with that. Isn't that really cool? So here I thought I was recording on this second step. You'll see me share the blooper. It was after I was done because I added the blue. So I'm going to, you get to see what I did. Hi! So what I did is I added some dark blue to the previous color, that gray paste. I just added more color of the blue, and I repositioned the stencil right where the original stenciling was, and then just lightly scraped it. And I did less than what I did before, so it's more like a shadow. And then I used my palette knife to scrape against the raised wrinkles of my paper. So that's how I got all the blue kind of blurred in there and kind of blended it with my finger. Thank you so much for joining me. learning about Simple Blue. Bye.